So where do we think our suffering comes from? So anything that's happening to you at the moment in your life, where do you think it's coming from? So often we say, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Is that going to work as a reason? Where's your suffering coming from? Well, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's the sort of thing that somebody says when they're interviewed on CNN. They say, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So is that what we think? Is that why something bad is happening to us? Normally, it's due to others. Yeah, funny but true. We blame others. You think about what's happening in your life. Who's to blame? Somebody. They did this, they said this, they didn't do this, they didn't say this. They left me. They left me. And now look. Or they harmed me. Now look. So if we're blaming others, are we believing this? Buddha's saying, from non-virtuous actions comes suffering. Your husband isn't mentioned. Sorry, your wife, partner, child, friend, boss, neighbor, they're not mentioned. I'll just repeat. From non-virtuous actions. There's nothing in brackets. From non-virtuous actions comes suffering. We have to stop. For as long as we're blaming others, we're showing that we do not believe Buddha. We don't believe this teaching. From virtuous actions comes happiness. So, if this isn't true, let's just check, where does our suffering come from? So we've just said, others. What connection, what relationship is there between others and your feelings? What relationship is there? So when we're suffering, experiencing problems, difficulties, pain, this is a type of mind. Mental factor feeling, your mind. It's feelings, types of mind, feeling. There's no relationship between your feeling in here and somebody's actions out there. There's no relationship. So where is this painful feeling coming from? So this is what we need to examine. We need to keep thinking about karma and examine our own life, our own experience. Some bad feeling comes. Instead of pointing out there, just think, why am I experiencing this bad feeling? Where is it coming from? If you think about it, somebody cannot give you a bad feeling. They can't. They have no power to do that. So where is that bad feeling coming from? So Buddha says that without a potentiality for experiencing a problem, difficulty, pain, there is no such experience. Without a potentiality or seed or imprint. So we can think this feeling of pain, this problem, a bad experience, is coming from a negative potentiality inside my own mind. It's all happening within our mind. The cause is within. We think the causes are outside our mind. This is our self-grasping. The causes are inside. So when we're experiencing suffering, Buddha says, suffering comes from your non-virtuous actions. So suffering comes from negative potentialities ripening in our own mind. Where did they come from? Who put them there? Who did put them there? So inside our heart is a legacy. We can call it a heavy burden of negativity. All the imprints of every negative action we've ever engaged in. There's also all the imprints of the positive actions. But for the moment we're thinking about negative seeds, because it's negative seeds that give rise to our suffering. So, without a negative potentiality, we say negative karma, without a negative potentiality ripening, there can be no experience of suffering. Where did that negative potentiality come from? Go back to Buddha's words. From non-virtuous actions comes suffering. That negative potentiality has come from non-virtuous actions we engaged in the past. The seeds are still in our heart. We brought them with us into this life. From every past life, we brought our karmic seeds, the positive and the negative. When the negative karmic potentialities ripen, suffering is what we experience. This is Buddha's great kindness. You think, at last, I can understand where my suffering is coming from. If you don't understand where your suffering's coming from, how can it cease?